What's up, all my Power House crew? The last piece of the interior of the Cherokee just came out. The big cast metal piece, steering column, and your brake pedal assembly. In one of the Cherokee's teardown videos where I took out the steering wheel and some of the stuff around the steering column, there was a comment left, hey, how do I take all the metal that's behind that? How do I take all that stuff out? And in this video, I'll show you how it's done. So to start out with, right here, there, and there. 13 millimeter, get them out. I got water all on my floor. I really need to figure out where that's coming from before I start framing. I got a feeling right there. It's coming through that because we had a hard rain. And once you get the bolts out, you can see that I've got it kind of partially hanging here. It'll come down off of these, but the studs here, I had to pull the column this way, straight back toward the driver's seat, if they were there. Got the nuts off the stud, started pulling the column. I said, whoa, I better get this shot. So what happens is, it slides downward off of this right here. You may have to give it a little bit of force to get down off of it, because here's the holes that it goes through. These, you got to pull the column straight back toward the driver's seat, in this case, if it were even there. And it comes up off these studs, but it'll only go so far. Let's go under the hood and I'll show you why. Because right there, it telescopes back and forth against each other. So this part right here slides over top of this part right here. So I got two choices. I could snatch the snot out of it, which I don't care about any of this because it's been converted into a camper trailer, and rip that boot. But if you were going to save this, what you want to do is cut that wire tie right there and remove it, and it'll allow that column to slide on out. So I'm going to cut that wire tie because it's pretty easy. If it was going to be something cumbersome and difficult, I wouldn't. So right there, you can see the joint where it slides back and forth, and it's just about ready to fall out because it just moved on its own. Once you get that boot loose under the hood, it'll slide right on out. Now you do have a boot right here that it pulls through. If you want that boot, you got 3 4-way screws right there, and one at the top if you want that boot. Now we still got this cable attached to the shifter right here. Oh my goodness, what do we do? This cable is for locking out your ignition if you do not have it in park. What do? You simply squeeze that tab right here. Ta-da! It's out. Out of the way, that is. And this is out of my way. You know, I started to trash that. On second thought, I think I'm going to hang on to it for right now, because this may actually be able to be rigged up in Rust Bucket, because that column is shot. Of this Power House crew that follows my channel on a very regular basis knows, if you're looking for a YouTube channel that puts everything back together stock, you're in the wrong place. I just take junk and make it work. Now taking this cast metal right here, you've got 1/2-inch nuts up here, and you got a bolt there, and a 1/2-inch nut back there on a stud. Now your brake pedal assembly right here, 14 millimeter on the firewall, and you've got a 14 millimeter here, and one on the other side that right there. Here on your brake pedal, this is where the brake booster joins the clip, joins the pedal. This clip, you need to get a flat screwdriver or this pick, get it behind it, lift that edge, get over that post. I can't do this with one hand. Anyway, you pull that little flat spot up, then you can push the clip over that post. Once you do that, the whole assembly just about falls out. Done. That over there has a lot of the wiring that has to do with the power doors and stuff. So I'm going to leave that in place for the moment. I need to tap those wires to figure out what actuates the power windows and stuff like that. Looky everyone. Axle pulls out. Pinion goes into the chunk. Tell me down in the comments, what is it and which rig is it for? Now speaking of the XJ camper, I need y'all's help. I've been all over Amazon and looking around different places on the internet for, I want air conditioning and I want heat. For heat, I believe I'm going to use one of those diesel heaters, those little small ones. And all this stuff's going to be mounted up on the firewall up in front of the Jeep. And I'm going to build some kind of nose coming up off the firewall to cover all this stuff up. Air conditioning. You can buy a 12-volt air conditioning system, and it's crazy expensive. My goal for the camper rig is that anybody can do this. Hence the reason me making all these videos tearing down the Cherokee. Because if John Doe has never turned a wrench in his life, I want him to be able to replicate what I did, including tearing the rig apart. Now, as far as me when I build it out, I'm going to use wood for the flooring. I prefer using steel because, I mean, I just like welding. That's just what I love doing. But I'm going to use wood for the flooring and the framework and stuff like that. So therefore, any of you guys can go to your local, you know, department store, hardware store, whatever, and pick up the 2x4s, the sheets of plywood, or whatever it is you need to replicate what I'm going to do here. And as I was mentioning, the air conditioning, I've seen some 12-volt systems out there, but they're crazy expensive. And one, I don't have all that kind of money to really play with. And two, I know there's a lot of people out there who's got junk Cherokees sitting in a field somewhere, sitting in their backyard, that would like, man, that is such a cool build. I want to do that. Then they look at the air conditioning, say it's $1,000 or something. And I'm like, okay, that just kind of knocks it out of the budget. Not to mention, you're building it out of a Cherokee, really. Not that I love Cherokees, don't get me wrong when I say it that way. It's just a matter of, you know, we're not building a big Sundowner or some kind of big, huge 30-footer that's all bells and whistles, slide outs and stuff like that. It's just something fun to drag around to cross country and enjoy the sights as you travel, you know? Building something like this is going to be a lot cheaper than hotels. And as far as, you know, I know somebody's going to be throwing it out there. What about taking a shower and stuff? There's options out there. If you've got some kind of membership to a gym that's across the nation, you can use that route. A lot of your nice truck stops, your Loves, T&A, they've got showers there. So that's, you know, you can de-stink yourself at one of those places. But if it's a hot summer day outside, you guys give me some ideas. I thought about the rooftop fans that circulate the air through it. I've seen those, and I've seen really good reviews on them. But I'm kind of wanting an idea of having some form of air conditioning. There's also a, I don't remember what it's called. There's like a drink cooler out there. This particular cooler, you load the ice up into it. You put a little bit of water in the bottom of it. You load ice up into it, and it circulates water through this heat exchanger, and the fan blows out that heat exchanger, therefore blowing cool air out. That's an idea, but you guys get my point. If you guys know any cool 12-volt air conditioning ideas out there, drop them down in the comments. I could really use your help on that part. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the Jeep Cherokee XJ camper trailer build. That's a mouthful. We're going to come up with some kind of name on that one. But everyone, appreciate you hanging out. Peace. Later, y'all.